Hello and welcome to SlummerTV episode 7. This is the official Neon Divide podcast. I am your host, as always, Skiz, and I am joined today by a number of players from left to right. First, we've got Shmoodle, who plays currently Rybit or Crunch.
My name is Rybit the Cruncher, but you may call me Crunch.
And then, of course, we have Ariyana, who plays Maya.
Yo.
We've got Kalista, who plays Marceline.
Hello.
We've got Zurui, who is currently playing Bay.
Hello.
And, of course, RemiTheSiren, who plays Calliope.
Hello. How's it going, gamers?
So,
It feels so weird to be here again. Well, again, but to be in the model.
We miss you.
Everything's gone to hell without you.
So weirdly enough, we do have a lot of Masaru or ex-Masaru players here. But just for those who don't know, there's a lot of viewpoints. Not everyone knows everything. There might be someone who's only ever seen just one person, has never left Fred's POV for all we know. So
Best
left
POV.
to right. So Shmoodle, tell us about Rybit, and if you want to go into some of your past characters as well, feel free.
How long do we got? Crunch is a member of the Black Hole Carnival, the carnival that Decidius created. He is one of the spiker clowns, which are like the big muscly beefy dudes that are usually sent in to help conquer planets. He's also a Maxilodi, which is Lord Croak's race. He's actually Croak's cousin, but Croak's dad banished him and his entire clan from their planet after killing and eating his mother. Whatchamacallit? Croak's dad killed Nate.
I see.
Crunch is like, yeah.
Like one does.
Yes, Croak Prime is a fat bastard. He then was on a planet. That planet happened to be found by the carnival. He was picked up, put through the usual games for the big show, and because he's big strong boy, he survived and became a member of the carnival.
Like, yeah. And, of course, now he's here.
Yes, he came to visit his dear old boss, Torok.
I see. We'll probably get into a little bit of Lyle just because this is a very Masaru-centric group, but I suppose we'll get to that when we get to that. Next up, tell us a little bit about Maya.
Right. Maya's been a character of mine since Season 2, although I have not really gotten a chance to tell her story heavily in the previous season due to obligations as a DM back then being much more prevalent that made it difficult to play her. But this season, those obligations went away, so I get to play her now. She fell in with Masaru as a bit of a arranged story weave for how she would come into discovering her magic as someone of a who shares the same blood heritage as Rayleigh, as they are from the same family. She is canonically an ex-member of the Trident's HTR units, the Sirens. She is ridiculously good at assassination techniques. Some of the extras are legitimately afraid of her, from what I've heard. But she has since broken out of that, but stays with Masaru because they help her get to what she's actually trying to do. And at this point, it's a matter of seeing where things go with current developments. I
Yeah.
really look forward to what happens next.
Right, and then of course, Marceline.
Marceline's been existing since the beginning of season 2. She's an ex-Valkyrie augmentation and prosthetics mechanic who managed to escape Valkyrie and try to make a life in the row. One of Shmoodle's older characters, Desmond, brought her into the Wyverns, where eventually she was the last standing Wyvern, becoming the leader. She marries Maya at the end of season 2, and season 3 she winds up doing some really dumb things. One of them joining Masaru, feeling the need to protect her sister Ashlyn and her wife Maya. Since then, she's been with Masaru and has actually finally found a family that she's been looking for. It took her a long time, and she's still making really dumb decisions, but she's finally found where she wants to be.
Well, I guess, sometimes joining corporate life is actually kind of good for some people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Depends on perspective.
Yeah, I suppose so. So then we have Bay.
Hi, I'm Zuri. I roleplay as Bay now, but for the beginning of this season, as well as the last 2 seasons, I played a character named Friend, a familiar of Masaru. Went from dumpster kitty to, well, the richest kitty. Now I play Bay, who tends the Necropolis, and
She
there's a
grew
fun
up so
story to tell
fast.
there. She did. So many people died.
I remember seeing her from the very beginning.
It's actually funny. She was originally a throwaway character. I was playing a character named Ice Hestia when the project first started, but due to some technical stuff, I had to shelve her and then bring in a new character. I didn't know what to do, so I was like, I'll just make a familiar because then someone will command me to do something and I'll just insta die and it'll be a quick in and out kind of character. Well, season 3, 3 seasons later after all of the shenanigans, she had quite the long story. But we brought it to a close this season.
Well, and now we get to look forward to Bay's story.
The trouble. I get to play with the dead puppies of the Necropolis.
And lastly, but certainly not least, we've got Calliope.
Yep, Calliope. The big, the bad, the evil. I'm sure you've watched somebody who I've pissed off at some point. But Calliope, through season 2, started as a researcher who uncovered some very dark and powerful magics and was dealing with the burden that brought with it. Found, like many others who end up in Masaru, the kind of solidarity and family that you don't expect, and ended up in season 3 leading the Corp.
Or at least the planetary branch, correct?
Right, yeah, the planetary branch of it.
Yeah. Well then. So I think, first of all, more than anything else, all of you have, not currently for 2 of you, but been in Masaru, and as you were just saying, it is a very different kind of community feeling, a lot more family than a lot of the other corporations feel, I think. What do you think exactly leads to that? I'm just curious.
I've always seen it as, with magic in general, there's still a lot of, I guess you could say, racism towards those who have magic. And they're also the youngest corporation. So they're the outcasts.
Yeah. Also, if I can add to that, knowing like a couple people's backstories that's in Masaru, like Calliope's and friends, I think it's also a stigma of a band of misfits. All a bunch of people that
Mhm.
were either trying to reach out to society and then the other slummers, and then they couldn't find that connection, or were burned by it. And Masaru just kind of formed to be a safe place for those characters. They found, that they weren't alone in those really scary parts. 'Cause I know for Calliope, which I don't think a lot of people know, that she really tried to make those connections in season 2, which led her to become the CEO and this big girl boss gamer that you know. But she was once very fragile and scared, and some of that kind of leaked up. I saw. But I think that's a big reason why a lot of the Masaru people, like how that happened, was just because all these people band together. Um,
It
I
We're all
also have to
fucked up.
say, it
oh,
becomes
fuck.
from. I have to put in. It would be very remiss to not mention Devin playing Damien in season 2.
Oh yeah.
He was a huge portion of our leadership, and like everything I feel that I've been able to accomplish leadership wise has been through something he's touched in one way or another.
I
And
heavily
through
agree with
other
that.
people who helped us build that up in season 2, like Foot Knight. We are much better off for them having been here.
It also helps a lot that everybody in the corp is very good friends with each other out of character. We are all the same kind of brand of stupid in the best
Oh my god,
ways.
brain rot. We like to call
We're
them.
we're so fucked. There's
We
a special room in hell for most of us.
No, I mean,
Gotta be all of us.
We collectively have 2 brain cells we bounce amongst each other.
Wait, we have
Yeah.
2?
but
Where'd you get the second
The
one?
other one, it's on rent.
to give a little insight on something
Oh.
that Remy said about that, like Damon or Devin was one of the big reasons like that helped, and I get that because for Friends, whenever because everyone knows Friends was a familiar, she'd find us someone, and I have to listen to everything he said. He was the nicest master she had ever had. He basically gave my character the chance to experience an independence that no one else, I think, would have let her have. Right. Really wholesome stuff. He was a really wholesome guy and funny too.
I think it's also great because you have like the canonical founder of this, not just the CEO, like Galactic CEO, but the actual founder. So much of that energy and like that kind of personality that he put into Masaru
Yep.
becomes
And that was
Masaru, and it
He
works
gives so
well.
much strength to the characters
Yeah.
and so much
That-
lessons.
was the reason when we were doing the renaming of everything
Oh, it was unanimous.
as a tribute. Yeah, it was a unanimous decision as a tribute to Devin to name it Masaru after Damien Masaru, his character. And it fits so well.
Yeah.
Like I think we still would act as if he were still here RPing, and kind of carrying on his chaotic yet seriousness when he needs to be.
I sincerely wish he actually had the time, because I know he's super busy in his normal
Oh my
daily
god,
life,
that man.
to make a cameo at some point. Because I'd love to meet him properly.
He's so
Because
fucking funny.
my character, because I will say, like right here, the only reason why I came back, because I wasn't sure how I wanted to go about season 3, because I didn't really have any way to I didn't really have anything to work off of from season 2 aside from the few things that I was able to do in between DMing. And the only reason why I came back was I asked these guys, I was like, hey, would it be okay if I like wrote a little story weave thing to join up with you guys and figure out stuff from there? And they said, yeah. So they accepted me into the band, and it made some very fun things for the first couple of episodes. How quickly chaos started, all because of
Yeah.
the dominoes falling down.
Oh
You're
my
Which is
telling
why
me.
she's in on it. It's why Ashlyn's in on it. None of that was planned. The only one that was planned was me shifting over, because I specifically did that on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, that is always one of my favorite things about this role play in general. And I say it every single time. It's just, you know, as much as you can plan, just the domino effects of just the fact that you've got 150 other players, it doesn't matter how little you plan, some great stuff that you end up loving is going to end up happening just purely because of how it interacts with every single other person in the world. You okay there?
Stop taking my knife.
He's making that body roll. Oh my god.
You go, bro. You go, bro.
I'm leaving the knife on the table. Stop grabbing it. Next time I'm putting it in your chest.
It's okay. I have a
Save
bigger
it.
one.
Oh, that's a big.
That's a
Is that the
knife.
weapon you use to chop off your arm?
Yes, that is what I used to cut my arm off. I just took it and I just because I had gotten bitten in the arm. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's already pretty much torn apart. I'll just use it as bait. So I just
I think
and just
the way
stuck it at the end of the blade.
Wait, hold on.
Kaneko described it to me was that
You
a sadist
cut-
cut off his arm and threw
He
it at the
has-
zombies.
You cut your arm off?
Yeah. Well, he has if he gets injured, because I mean it's like a frog or a lizard that can actually grow back limbs. For him, it takes a little bit to grow it back, but as long as the bleeding stops, which generally it stops fairly quick, if he removes a limb, he'll be okay, depending on the damage. So I just kind of in the moment was like, you know what, fuck it, cut it off. And I posted the clip for it.
Oh yeah, well, we'll probably get to that. Sometime during this. Yeah,
I was so happy with the extras too, because as I was doing it, they ran with it the whole way.
To be perfectly honest,
great.
I'm so sad I couldn't join you guys for that, because that was the same time that I needed to switch and send off one of my past DM NPCs.
So just to clarify, this was you all were, or some of you were going down to the.
This was for
Necropolis,
the
or-
Necropolis ritual to
Yes.
help
Yeah,
Torok.
the turtles of
Yes.
Which was a success.
You're
So
welcome.
So
So-
excited.
I mean, what like I guess, you know, we've talked a little bit about Masaru. What, because I know that you two have been doing a lot of stuff in the Necropolis, at least this last episode.
Mhm.
What exactly has been going on with
Oh.
in the Necropolis lately, and just
What hasn't been happening?
I woke up and the dead are waking up, and everyone wants to either fight them or go past them. And I think what happened, like last session, it turned very chaotic because the way that the zombies kind of work is kind of like the more you do, the more they get agitated. The louder you are, the gunshots, those kind of like agitate them. And last session there was a lot of that going on, and it ended up a ritual that was supposed to be a handful of people turned into, well, after we succeeded, them being trapped in the library trying to barricade the doors as I flew ahead to get the Masaru squad that's coming in with guns. And I think Happy said that he truly felt trapped, and in a later conversation I had with Kaneko, she was hoping for that. So huge success on that part, because it was terrifying. We actually had to take a break because I got a little overwhelmed because my internet was being really hazy. But it was just a huge fighting while we tried to do a ritual, because Torok, you probably know a little bit more.
So
his brain.
from how I've come to understand it with Torok, he's like 700 years old, close to 800 years old. His race went extinct, and one of the last things that his race told him was that it was his fault, and then they died.
oh,
So he's been drowning all of his memories with drugs, which is why he's so heavily hooked on them. But a couple episodes back, he was detoxed from all drugs, and it unlocked all of those memories. And his major flaw was that if that were to happen and he were to detox, he would immediately become suicidal because he'd just be done. He'd be remembering all the stuff that he did that caused his racist extinction. He'd remember all the terrible stuff he's done, what part of the carnival. So it was like, that was it. So what we needed to do was figure out a way to either remove, like cut out the part of his brain where those memories lie, or lock the memories away in some
I can give a little
fashion.
bit more clarification with
Yeah.
that. Because it kind of went in tangent with part of Bay's major. She does a bit of memory manipulation magic. They had asked these two, him and the small dragon female
Zest.
Afro's character Zest.
Afro Man is
She
character.
she and him came and asked Bay if she could help, and she's like, if you give me some samples of his drugs, I can try to whip up something and we can do a ritual. But I'll have to hurt him because like her arms are covered in these symbols. She does kind of rune smithing, but with flesh. So with that in tangent with my major, I had talked with the DMs and I was like, I don't want to outright just remove them because memories should never be removed. There should always be some sort of brain like vault. It's kind of like a concept we have realistically. I get it from Adventure Time. I reference it from There's the Vault. When you don't want to remember something, you put it in the vault. And so what she was doing was magically putting it in the vault and then putting a magical lock on it. So it is something he might still explore. We may have to continue investigating and researching to make sure that it's still working and the seal of magic isn't cracking.
And
It's dark magic, so he kind of went to the last resort of dark necromancer magic stuff.
Let's go.
Well, it was the first. It was the first solution that we found that seemed viable. But one of the things that
he
sucks
definitely
now,
could have died.
oh yeah, 100%. He almost did. It
I
wasn't
got a 2
until
on one of them.
yeah, it wasn't. Rayleigh hopped in. I took over for Rayleigh to kind of hold the line so that she could dump some of her mana into the circle, because I'm just a frog. But one of the side effects to this with Torok is he doesn't remember his race is gone, so he wants to get in touch with his mother.
Oh no!
That's some
the mana thing. That's another reason why I wish I was there, because then I could have. I would have been like, you need mana? My major, blood and shadow. Let's go.
But definitely, I think that the Necropolis is going to have a lot more to be explored going forward because there's a lot of like lore within it and the study of its knowledge because there's a huge library. I'm hoping to be kind of like a librarian for it, but I think it's like a calm before a storm. How the Necropolis has been lately. That before in the season it was a lot calmer, quieter. People would kind of go in and out, but now the zombies are rising, and the more people come and they don't give the Necropolis time, the more intense it'll get, and it's really up to see where the story goes from there.
They just keep kicking the beehive.
Yeah, it is.
Man, stop kicking my
Yeah.
puppies. My
Yeah,
puppies are dying.
it's almost at a point now where every time we hear the gunfire in the Undercity, we immediately assume, oh, people are down in the Necropolis again. And like every time I see Varen, the bar, he started off as a bartender. Now he's like, I guess, kind of the tour guide for the Necropolis.
He was there the whole day.
Yeah.
Yo, he was so helpful that whole time. He escorted Stellar down, and then they were like weaving and avoiding the zombies. He and Stellar weren't trying to kill any of them. He was just trying to avoid them, and I would go up and take their hands and sing to them and lead them to another room so we could continue what we were doing, which was really, really wholesome because his character, I think, was one of the first people to actually listen to Faye when she's like, there's an alternative. You don't have to be hurt. Like, I think he was even going to accept her doing some of her rune magic to try to make him temporarily immune. But unfortunately, the dead people started doing intense things. There's one with like a giant gnarly eye that I can't remember who made it. I think it was Abocat.
It's almost certainly
make it?
Advocate. Yeah,
The new
I think
one?
Advocate
If
probably
it
he's
looks
fine.
on
just dating them.
Process,
Like, did you
it's
see them
probably Advo.
splitting apart into two?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's.
Advo
I
makes
think
all
those
the
are
fucked up models.
those are
Those were
how
the-
they'll be now. So
I love that model when they just go bleh,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
just a tongue with teeth down the center of its torso.
I had to
Oh, it's
clarify if they were
fantastic.
actually trying to eat me, but then the DMs were like, "No, they're fine," and I'm like, "Oh, then I'm just gonna like pet
They're
their
just
tongue or
panting, it's fine.
something." They're just puppies. They're just
overheated.
they're tired. Yeah, they're just overheated. They're just they do that when they're excited.
God.
So I like with that giant library down there I know that like that was probably one of the big reasons why Masaru initially came down and took over the Undercity.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was something that one of the reasons she wanted the Undercity to be under Masaru's care is because one day that door would open and we don't know what kind of dark bad things are there. It was something that she I think wanted more Ecolos to keep an eye on, and he did a lot in the Necropolis throughout the season. I'm not entirely sure what he did. I know Cornelius had business in Necropolis, something with his dragon daddy. Like Masaru has, I think, because they're they're the magic corporation. The dark, spooky magic is something that going forward they'll either forcefully putting their hand in or even invited by Faye, because Faye's already reached out to the CEO Ashlyn. She ran into briefly, saying we need to speak in the future because as long as you do not steal from us, you are allowed to come and I will teach you things. I will let you experience the knowledge. You guys can take notes or take photos like the guy that was there today.
Baron.
That like because I think
I'm
there's
pretty sure it was him.
still it was Baron, there's things still to be found. There's story weave things that I've already started to like uncover and stuff.
There's a nice
there's a
book of paper
lot of
mache.
stories that I think players want to explore also have incorporated in their backstory. So a lot of people I think will be making their way there to explore themselves in some sorts of way.
But yeah,
the dead are angry.
Yeah, piggybacking off that, like the whole reason for Undercity stuff and the way that was when Maya had her persona fix removed out of her head, which was the whole thing that made her into what she was all the time from season 2 and the start of season 3. It basically explained to her that the main goal of the Corp, at least from their eyes, was not so much going after maximum profit, subjugate the poor, haha. It was always basically protecting people from things they didn't understand. And ultimately, it put enough, like, she was confused enough about why they were being so nice to her when they no longer had, like, absolute ability to just kind of keep her around, that she just kind of kept staying and ultimately has been helping them out in her own unique way, whether that be some stuff. And then there's the ever famous Masaru run that, that went interesting because I could say essentially it got, other than the fact it was horribly sabotaged before it even began because I was allowed to go there a day early to do things. Smile. It got solved by being a Karen.
And so, correct me if I'm wrong. So you basically, during the mission, called up Calliope and said, "Hey,
in character, I pulled out my phone while I'm surrounded by people pointing guns at me, be like, Calliope, they're causing me problems, so I'm trying to inspect the plant for you." And the way she was playing it off was literally pretending to be someone who was supposed to be there, which she was, but not in this capacity that people were expecting, and literally got the extra playing the main scientist onto the Spirit Comms channel. She talked to them, basically said, "Stop wasting her time, help her out," and literally I got all the guards to help me carry out the stuff we were stealing and get it on the ship for us. And then later used the equivalent of magic Google Maps using blood magic, because what I went there and did was planted her blood on everything so I could find it later. Also, I stole some research data that essentially allows me to have a story weave to figure out how to try to complete it and make flesh crimes.
We love our flesh crimes.
It's called Project Resurrection, and it's very
Oh, no.
fucked up. They said that data was destroyed. I did destroy it, just not the copy I made of it.
Well then.
And
I'm glad to hear that there are corpos doing absolutely horrendous, terrible things.
And yes,
While
I probably will
memeing.
look into it because eventually I will get very curious. And because of her attributes, she probably could further it along. Who knows? Maybe I'll ask you and be like, hey, do you want to make more friends?
Are you looking for a specific book? I've read almost all of them.
Let's fucking go! Necromancer 2
Casual
Electric Boogaloo!
library.
Please,
I
the
just want to be a
Undercity has it wrapped
librarian.
up already.
You're too late,
Let us
Undercity.
party
I'm
with
now
you and
Project
Daddy.
Resurrection
I
certified.
like remaining ominous, not evil.
Yeah, you know what? That's I can vibe with that. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
This research data is
I
just
like
my
you
forklift
questioning.
certification. I'm about to become forklift certified, and it's the Undercity's problem.
Oh God.
It's too late, Undercity. You've already lost.
Too late. Yeah. I had Shayla like, you're not going to turn into like an evil necromancer, are you? She's like, well, I'd assume you'd kill me like you did the last one.
Oh,
Oof, no one has explained to me how or why yet. Just to know.
yeah.
He was an evil man, apparently.
So, because Bay was asleep during the whole time,
Yes.
and like
Yeah,
was
so essentially, she was one of the people that were taken. Like, very many, there was a lot of like information in the
okay.
library. There's going to be files and stuff of other people that had been experimented on. Like, you know, he was. This was before he raised the dead and attacked everyone. This is, I think, when he was probably a little bit more sane, because she was taught by him. And she was like a mentor in his. It was before, like he did talk of philosophies of like how the world should be, etc. And like, you know, he's clearly a little there, but
A bit of a
I don't
loon.
think Faye expected when she went to sleep, because he essentially told her, because her people, she's of a tiefling clan that see the stars and they read the future from them. They're fortune tellers. But she was born incapable of sight because she's extremely nearsighted, and it's something that I actually have an overlay over my avatar that is like an extreme version of mine IRL. And he took her and said, "You're a being of light that can, that can see the stars but can't. But you should be able to read the future. We can take you and turn you into something else. We can make it so you can read something. We'll bring your sight back in some capacity." So he put her to sleep, and she never woke up, so he deemed her as a failure. The experiment failed. She was dead. He moved on with his life, and then, all the things that happened with him happened. That he killed people and raised the dead and all that. And Bay, that entire time, was asleep above them, listening to the noises but not really understanding them. It's why she sings melodies, because those are like the noises that she would describe kind of what she heard the Necropolis making while she was inside of it, as like, because it kind of moves. There's so many organic like life forms in it, and like the shrooms are all living in a sense. All of them slowly move because plants all move very slowly. Since she was there for so long, she felt them moving over a long period of time. It's really cool.
Yeah, no,
And then I got pooped out like an egg. And that's why she's all like crazy looking and stuff. She originally looked a lot more like Stellar.
Which is her brother?
Yes, her brother.
Okay.
He's one of the Wastelanders. She was taken at a very young age. Like, she was cast out of her clan because of her sight when she was just a child. And so she was found wandering the streets by the what turned into the Necromancer. But that's why she awoke saying like, "Feller Helwix, where is he?" And everyone's like, "Who?" Because we had to give him a name for my character to
Because everyone else just called him the
explore
Necromancer.
them.
I see.
Pretty much.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one last thing before we start diving into clips. So, Actually, you know what? Can we actually roll the first clip because it is somewhat relevant?
If we're doing
Oh.
clips, I gotta get
Oh.
a second.
Oh,
I've already
no.
encountered scuff
Oh
and
my
my
God, can
access
we grab
overlay
something?
crashed.
Oh my god, I need my cord.
no.
Marcy, how are you?
Hi, great.
Hello.
Hello.
And immediately it
Sorry.
devolves into chaos. Let's
Is this
Yeah.
what it's going to
go.
be like when you finally come through the
Yeah,
portal?
just
to pick me
I
up?
was waiting
Yeah,
for someone
this is what it's gonna be like when I come
I
home.
need this cord.
I'll look right at you and get all
I just
close,
need this
pat you on the
one
head.
cord.
They've all been mean to
Thank
me
you,
at
Remy.
daycare.
Corporate sanctioned
Tell me who's
headbat?
being mean to you. I will rip them to shreds. I will Jerry
need a-
their ass.
I need a
Can I
plug.
learn
Oh,
to make mage
the
slayers
roll.
from you?
fuck, now I'm tangled.
Just
How the
don't
fuck
be
this up?
tangled.
This is
How
kind
are
of
you
one of
a-
the problems with VR. Like,
How are you a whole Disney movie?
I'm gonna hide on the corner. 1 second.
okay, does everyone have it? Can everyone see?
I'm
Yeah.
ready now.
I
am
don't see it.
ready.
I'm just plugging
Okay.
something in
I
real
can
quick.
witness.
I'm
All right.
pursuing.
So this is one of the less and also more serious things going on in
Oh no.
in Masaru.
Is this what I think it is?
Yes, it is.
It's one of them.
Hi.
God.
Are you committing food
We
crimes?
are working on.
No, different, even worse.
Okay.
I was about to do that in the road, and then my best friend was murdered in front of me. So no, we're
Fair.
Yes.
making a baby.
To
What?
fill you in on yesterday's activity.
Hang on.
Yep.
We're making a baby.
Yep.
Damn.
It's always you. It's always you.
It is always Kalista.
Yeah.
Okay. All
It's
right.
all because
We're
of
making a
Kalista,
baby.
always.
Yes. We're trying to finish making the synthetic.
I'm so sorry.
What is going on
He's not
this
sorry.
session?
She's not
You
sorry
a
at
damn
all.
lie.
I was
Never
there.
sorry.
I was there, ghost form, watching this unfold.
So just to clarify, why is there a synthetic baby being produced?
So there's a very in-depth backstory to this. The in-character reason is that Calliope and Ashlyn are romantically involved, and they decided that since they can't have a child together, that they would use Ashlyn's body, which is sort of a catch-all CNC machine to just print parts and make things, to build our own child. We are literally build-a-bearing our own kid. And the reason this happened was because one night I DM'd Scarlett and said, hey, we haven't actually used Ashlyn's body for anything, but I had this great idea that I think is going to make Chair really suffer. So, let me pitch this to you.
Cheryl wasn't the only one who suffered because of that idea.
And I'm so happy about that.
It's
I'm
more
so
than just
wait.
chair.
Let's
Yes.
ramp it up a little.
Yeah, so that's why we're making a synthetic child. I've heard it's actually really close to completion.
It will be ready, assuming that she's picked out a model and figured out how they want them to
She
act and
has.
find someone to get it.
Gosh.
Well, they need someone to play it, but it will be
You know,
ready
yeah.
at the start of next episode.
I'm so
remember-
excited to see who plays it and like see where the character goes
You've
because
all
it was a
seen-
total shit post to make it.
You've all seen robots, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Of
Do you
course.
remember the baby making
You're late
scene?
for
the
when they were
delivery.
building-
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Yeah,
makes
That's
it
literally
best part.
the entire time that you guys were talking about all of that stuff. That's the only thing that I could think of. Was you
Yeah.
guys literally sitting there with your box,
Yep.
building your son and or daughter.
I mean, there is in that scene a pile of scrap and a tech part, so I'm assuming that's
Yeah.
Hey.
That was stuff that I
We
brought
got
up.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Not even using
I
steel.
posted my own clip of when I had to tell Chair how I was getting involved in that mess.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, steel and titanium is way too annoying to get in character.
Okay, you say that. I personally, in character, have a stockpile of like of not titanium, but like steel. I'm like
As-
stockpiling.
Why you got so much steel?
As someone who has to get 2 to 4 steel and titanium every episode for anything, it's
that's
miserable.
fair.
I hate it.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is.
I've never
a little bit of a
interacted with the
process.
crafting system. It makes me sad. I
mean,
want to.
It's one of those things that, like, there are a lot of people who, if you're not like a storekeeper who's, or a technician or something like that, you don't really have much of a reason to.
Currently, decking doesn't really have any use for
That's
it,
true.
but
Yeah.
that might change possibly based off the workshop that we had with the cast and the dev DM team a couple hours ago.
I
knows?
wish we had the crafting system when Phyllis was alive. Because we 100% could have done the magical cookies with it, and it would have been beautiful.
Oh, we could have.
Yeah.
It would have been
That's so
absolutely
true.
beautiful.
She died too
back in
soon. It was
back
all my
in the
fault,
days
but
when
she
I
died
was
too soon.
best friends with Masaru, but because I was being an antagonist for them, they were like, "Thank you, something we can actually work towards."
How could you? You murdered me, you bitch!
I'm sorry.
I don't like hearing her voice
Blasted
out
by
of the
Grandma
big
Phyllis.
curly crunch.
I still hear her voice to this day.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The only thing of Phyllis that I know of, and it was the most comical thing, first time I ever met them, they came up to me asking if I was a mechanic, which they were looking for someone to fix their broom.
Yes, I remember this.
I was like, well, I'm not that kind of mechanic. That's Ryder. I pointed them in the direction. Well, about 10, 15 minutes later, I opened my shop door to leave, and I just hear the cackling of Phyllis as she flies by and disappears. I had no idea what was happening. That was my first interaction with that character.
But yeah, most of my first interactions with Masaru characters was when I was DMing and started up the whole Puppet Master storyline, which in itself, just like making the Sims, started out as a shitpost and it became really serious.
I kind of fucking forced myself into that too. I just...
It's okay. The more people did that, I just kind of like, you know what? I'm adding people's backstories into this on the fly. Let's go.
Everyone's like ducking and weaving to not get shot, and I'm literally just hobbling like a little old lady up the ramp, up to the Puppet Master. Gunshots are flying.
Yeah, and then you just started like
missing every shot. Yeah.
I'm just like, man.
What the hell are you doing? You used to be such a kind young man.
That entire event was terrifying because I was on the side of the Puppet Master. I was trying to help him kill off Masaru.
Yeah, you're the only person who's on his good side in the event he ever comes back, by the way.
I still have his bullets. I had 12 bullets that were given that were made for if I shot someone, it had the strings so he could actually take control.
Yeah, the same strings that I shot you with.
I still have them.
Those ones.
But I was up there with Static because I hit her rage, which is why she attacked you guys in general. But
so you activated
I'm the
rage.
I'm the reason all that happened. But there's nothing more terrifying than seeing Phyllis hobble around and then the demonic roar as she starts casting shit.
Hold on.
The lesson here is that it all comes back to this is Kalista's fault.
Yes, absolutely.
Why is everything Kalista's fault? Come on.
It's all Kalista.
I still have the bullets. Marceline is still rolling in the credits of the blank check that Phyllis gave her. It's like, alright, well, whatever you need to fix up this synth. Alright, I'm going to write about 5 mil credits. Thanks, bye.
I gave people like maybe, let's see, I gave Torok a blank check, I gave you a blank check. I actually paid Ryder properly. Yes, I just threw money away. I didn't care.
Marcy still has about 2 to 3 mil of those credits just sitting in an account somewhere.
I mean, I have more credits than you from making Traverse explode.
I had the Masaru kitty card.
Traverse.
A classic.
Fuck cars! Motor brooms are better.
So,
minutes.
speaking of all this money, we do have another clip of what Marceline's been spending some of that
Oh no!
money on.
Oh boy!
Oh no.
Let's do
I
it.
don't-
I
I
guess
don't-
to come
I don't
back
think
and be disappointed, mom.
I don't think I've seen this clip.
Absolutely.
Gotta get you.
Uh-oh.
I need a few cans of baked beans, specifically.
No.
Pick it up.
Okay.
Pick it up right now. Go to Chris.
Not what I'm making, it's what's already strapped to my hip. Oh
It
god.
has baked beans on the side of the SMG.
What the f-
It does. Thanks.
You making some sort of fucking bean gun?
I married this woman in character.
BBSMG, yeah.
God,
Baked
you
bean
just,
submachine gun.
you really scored.
It's already
You really
done.
got something there. I married you for your beans.
When you make Fred,
I'm thinking about those beans.
when you make Fred roll his eyes, you know you've done something chaotic.
So, what I have in my hand is actually the gun. It's the BBSMG, the baked bean submachine gun that shoots specifically Bush's baked beans.
Fire it in the ceiling. Show them what it does.
Can they
Oh,
see the
no.
ceiling?
They'll see what comes
Or you
down.
could shoot the table. Yeah, wherever.
So
Or you
either
could shoot
way,
above my head.
whenever it fires, it just
Oh
Oh
god.
my god.
it does specifically 1 point of damage and fires confetti everywhere as a signification for the beans.
I wasn't
I love
ready for
that.
the confetti noise. I think I just lost 5 years off my fucking
The best thing is Torok and Crunch come up to the upper city at the end of last episode. I pull this out and I say, Torok, open your mouth. Don't worry, this won't hurt you. And then I just fire beans down his throat.
And I'm just walking away like, this is so stupid. Why?
And so I think
Did
the
anyone-
worst thing is this isn't even the first food
No.
crime you've committed.
Oh,
either.
no.
This is the
I've committed
third
many.
or the fourth.
Oh no.
Fifth.
Oh, when she ruined your moment.
What was the square? Was it the square rule?
Oh my
of food?
god.
Okay.
Can we get back to
cube-
it?
The
Oh,
one,
The-
okay.
The
My
cube
favorite was
rule
the
of
one with
food.
Ashlyn.
Yeah.
When Ashlyn and I were having our first like real romantic one-on-one moment, hugging in the office, talking about how awful everything is going and how sad we are. This little gremlin just runs in
Oh, you brought in the glizzy
blazes us in
grenade.
hot dogs.
The glizzy grenade.
Of all of the things that I've created, I have created a churro cannon, specifically that Rivet phase synth has. I upgraded to shoot 10 different churros, and people have been assaulted with these already. A honey mustard gas grenade, a glizzy grenade or hot dog grenade, the besh, which is like the hesh but a burrito.
Okay.
Explodes. It explodes magically. And then the baked bean submachine gun.
Gab would like to know your location.
The best part is
Like
every
Gab's
single
gotta get on this.
every single one of these items that I have
Gab,
made, I have
please.
then gone to the bank and patented, so Geb can't touch them.
Oh no.
Whoa, big brain, honestly though.
But the best part is her running in with a grenade, and everyone's like, Marcelly, what are you doing? Marcelly, no, it's fine. It's just hot dog water. That doesn't make it okay.
Oh, it's not hot dog water. It was actual. I went to Fred's shop and crammed full hot dogs into the grenade, locked it, and set
Of
the
course
pin.
you did.
Fermented grenade
Of
hot
course she did.
dogs.
How
I
could
love
I
the
have been
smell.
so dumb? You covered part of the lab in Masaru and hot dog water. Iklos is still getting that out of his suit.
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably still
He
smells
is.
a little bit like hot dogs, right?
What's the best
Listen,
part about that?
Cold fermented hot
is
dog.
She told me to clean up the
Ew.
mess that I made, so instead of cleaning up, I went outside, grabbed a sweepo off the street, and just placed it in the lab and walked off.
I mean, hey,
Oh.
So deal
Listen,
with it.
what's
Yeah,
wrong
one
with
of these
dirty water hot
days-
dog?
No,
Dirty
one of
water
these
hot dogs
days,
are the best.
Wait, you
someone's gonna look
kidnapped
under
the
the table,
sleepo?
and it's just
I did.
hot dog, old hot
It's like
dog.
gum stuck to the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah,
side of
it's
the
just hot dog. Left over from the glizzy grenade. The
best
people
part-
didn't notice it because it was above.
The best part
From
of
above.
it happening in the second time I detonated the glizzy grenade in the lab was Morph had just crashed. So we were playing it as if he walked out of the room. He was still in the room, technically, so he watched me chuck this and just didn't say anything as it exploded.
Wasn't that the same episode that people thought he turned into a Geb cube?
Nicholas turned into
Yes.
the
Oh,
funniest
yeah.
shit I've ever seen.
It was
Meow,
also
meow, meow.
it was the same episode that Lyle died, I believe, because we had just gotten the Geb cubes enchanted to detonate, and we were heading down to the row with them, so I could make the besh.
Yes.
Yes.
Fact.
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, I still have your 6 cubes. The
do?
farting gas cubes. I have them.
You need to find a use for them, and whenever you finally are able to give them to someone, immediately don't tell the person. Silently tell a DM.
Yup.
And have them just follow them around and be like, yes, you have severe gas. Or even better, I want the DM to just come out of nowhere and just be like,
Oh no!
I don't.
No!
I don't have the power.
This is the
Evil
corp agenda.
corporations, everybody.
This is the corp
This is what we
agenda.
do.
This
I don't
is
have the power.
exactly how meetings
This is
go.
what makes the big bucks.
I don't have the
baby.
power. I don't have the power, but I have the cubes to do power word defecate, and it's gonna be great.
Why?
This is a forbidden magic.
Forbidden magic.
Favomancy?
We don't go there.
no, Favomancy is the ultimate magic. It's what we strive to teach all.
I hate it here.
What magic?
I mean, I think this is a great segue to the next clip of exactly why
Oh god.
this kind of stuff happens. So
Welcome
Yeah,
to a
this is
regular
your
Messiah
philosophy.
meeting.
Yep.
You can get free treatment from Avalon in the Undercity.
I can let them know.
But you're also the guards are also to ensure that they have a safe working environment. So if anybody's giving Avalon trouble, it's up to us to make sure. Okay, friend, you
What? What?
Oh, sorry. I got a little boy.
It's okay. Wow, that's great. No, I love that for you,
Let's say
Cornelius. That's
you're
really
in
good.
practice of cantrip stuff
Oh,
being.
wait, Doctor,
If I
you
don't
said
do
something
this,
on
I'm
fire.
going. If I don't do this, I'm gonna have to.
Does everybody here have ADHD? Is that a mage?
Sorry, no.
I'm gonna talk to Avalon about that and see if like mages just all inherently get ADHD.
That would be
I have
actually
this
really
amazing
good.
little
This
game
is
called Minesweeper.
Everything about my
This is
all
really
my instincts are
shiny.
screaming to attack you. Please cease.
Don't attack fire. That sounds really dumb.
I know, but it's shiny and it's moving.
bad.
I want.
Fire.
Aww.
So that's one of Calliope's 2 working theories about magic. One, if you have magic, you instantly get ADHD. You just have it. Because everybody who has it is exactly like that. Every meeting, every day, is that. The other one is that everybody's a mage. But there's that goes a little off there.
It's so true.
Like I can't even imagine like once you get like up to the higher level mages, like if you have the like a meeting of all the planetary CEOs of Masaru,
The more
what that
mental
would even be
disorders you
like,
have,
yeah.
the more powerful you become.
No, depression fuels your magic, but when you get magic, you get ADHD. That's how it works.
Ah, perfect. That's
Is that why Marceline's so strong?
Yes, it is.
That makes sense.
that tracks?
It all tracks. I'm a magic scientist, trust me. I've done my research.
This is scientifically proven.
Yes.
It's science. It's science because as long as it's technically true, that's the best kind of true.
Yeah, technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the phrase. Thank you.
And Damien does just drive this home. Like, he implanted this brain rot.
So
into all
I
of
wish I
us.
could have found. I needed to find the clip because I don't think anyone posted it, but from the
Astral typhoid.
the space mission at the end of season 2, where it literally proved how dumb we all are. Where it's like, wait, I got this. I know they're not a body snatcher. Masaru salute, go.
Yeah.
And people are like,
Sorry, it's like
are
insane.
you fucking kidding me?
If anyone in chat knows where that clip is, DM it to me, and I'll post it in the thing.
So, Damien, I never met the character. I've only ever heard things about the character, and the two things I heard
He's so beautiful.
was
He was good. I thought the same thing.
he fireballed Norman, who had come down to my shop trying
That's
to
in here.
back in season 2. He tried to get me to Norman was trying to get me to help Masaru try to make Magitech because it was just an interest he had, which obviously would never work mechanically in the roleplay. But the only other thing I've ever heard was during the meetings he would eat IRL while he was doing it.
Yes!
Yeah.
I did meet him once in
Oh my God,
character,
he
and it was
shared his
literally
food,
us
I
having
see.
a roast session at each other in the middle of Elevator Plaza, where he's like literally, we were just like shit talking each other, and then he was like, "You know what? I like you. No one else is brave enough to say that to my face. I'm Damien Masaru," and I'm just like, I literally don't care. Because back then, I didn't like the corpse.
Does anyone? I don't know who was in Spawn with us, but there was one time where he couldn't get the one of his menus popped up, and he couldn't get it to go away.
I think I
Were you
remember
there?
that.
Yeah,
He
I do
couldn't for the
remember.
life of him figure it out, and it was one of the
He's so
funniest
mad, I
because
think.
he's not on VRChat. Really,
Yeah.
he just
I
came on
think
just
I was
to
there
RP.
for
Oh
that.
shit.
Yeah,
And
that
it
was like his
so,
first time
his-
doing VR.
Just his mental process going through trying to figure out how to fix it. I couldn't stop
It was so
laughing.
good.
It was so funny. Oh my god,
Oh,
Devin
Devin's such a
is a
treat.
masterpiece of a human being.
Devin, we miss you. If you hear
Devin, we
this,
miss
we'd
you.
love to
We
see you
miss
drop
you.
by again.
Miss you, Devin.
Or at least say hi in the Discord, please.
Come home from getting the milk.
You get the spirits to get the milk for you. You know, it's just yeah.
He went to get the milk and went to the other side of the galaxy to pick it up.
I can't get milk, but I can get
Yeah, we
blood.
did the
Is that
same.
close enough?
Yeah,
It
I
better-
also did the same. Oh
Yeah,
my
what
god!
happened?
Wait,
Let's
you
get
guys
milk.
better come back
that
with
means
blue milk.
Ashlyn
Yeah.
can actually say your mom.
God.
She ran away with a cat.
Wait, she
And a
she
pretty
wanted
lady.
to go find the dad to find the milk.
Oh yeah, true.
Because you went to go meet up with Damien, didn't you?
Yeah.
And
You
Morgan.
went to go consult with him on which milk to buy at the store.
Oh, he knew which
literally,
milk.
the text message finally got through like a year later. Like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
at the store. What flavor you want?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'll come help you."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
At the end of season 4, we'll have them show back up. Got the milk.
And it's expired, long expired because of how long it took to get back.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we able to
So,
change models?
something that I'm curious about, because I don't know. Did Calliope get beamed in the back of the head on accident going through the portal? Because me and Cornelius, like assholes, started throwing noodle bowls through the portal.
Yeah, I like
Did
to
you get
imagine
beamed?
But
that
why?
we come out the other side on that portal and Morgan's there waiting for us, and Calliope and Morgan meet with each other and hug after seeing each other again, and then just in the back of the fucking head, bowl of noodles covers both of them. That's very Messiah.
Well, you remember frickin' Shinny, as Morgan takes a hard candy when you first are showing off the portal and just tosses it through. And it's like, in character, this in lore, this hard candy actually finds some random person and just hits them right in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So beautiful.
Magic is fun.
Magic's awful.
Magic is a new and
It's a
terrifying
magic
force.
is-
Meanwhile, magic being used to
Yeah.
throw
Yeah.
both the noodles through dimensional spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, us workshopping how we're going to kill everybody in the Undercity by turning the ice district into beans.
Yeah.
Real conversation that happened.
That was the conversation that happened.
I'm pretty
in
sure there's still
character on screen.
text. It's either in character on screen or there's text evidence in Discord that we all share.
Our Father
Oh,
Nancy
yeah.
plot.
So, it was great when Conrad came up to our table while we were just sitting in the Trident
my
bar,
god.
Yeah.
ready to learn a spell, and we were just like, yep, you're learning bean magic, and you just, what?
I don't think I was there for this one.
Shocked.
God, that was beautiful.
Speaking of Conrad, the contrast between a corpse is so funny. Like,
Which is why it's hilarious that they're such good friends of each other.
right. Conrad was like so amped up on learning his first spell and trying it out, and he was excited to show Calliope, and he was so in the mindset of how hard he was going to try to appropriately channel the spell and like make himself proud, make Calliope proud, and all of this.
Aww,
and
that's cute.
going into that, instead of treating it with any semblance of that same effort or respect, I brought Ashlyn in and we shot confetti to celebrate shooting her first spell. And he was so confused as to why she was there and why
it
there was
messes with my
confetti.
head though. That I was like,
so
man,
good.
the two corps are such good
Man.
friends, and
Yeah.
Maya hates Trident, yet is still working with Conrad. But that's mostly because she was in a situation she couldn't say no. But he did offer her fun.
Something
By
I love.
fun, I mean using that a lot.
I love my tracking. It never works for me.
Yeah.
I mean, this was kind of
Tracking.
part of VRChat.
Yeah.
I mean,
It doesn't help that my play space is a living room that has
See,
about 6 massive windows that span about 10 feet or more
There you go.
Calista, all
that
you
I'm
need
not
to
able
do,
to cover up.
because it's obviously just your hip tracker. All you need to do to fix it is you just need to recreate your favorite emote.
Yes! Are we even allowed to say it?
You don't reference it.
Oh no!
No.
She has her
Same
own
brainwash,
version
but
of
no.
it.
I know
I
she
almost
made her
said it
own.
earlier.
I'm so proud of her.
I had to
But
stop
let's
myself
not
earlier.
bring that dark magic into this.
Oh, is that worse than
Hologram.
Yeah, I
Pavomancy?
almost
I'm
gremlin.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I have made it extremely like aware to everyone who ever has access to that emote not to use it in the Neon Divide Discord at all because I don't want to get in trouble for it. It's on you if you decide to post it because it's just a joke emote.
I don't even know where that whole thing got started from in the first place, but then it spawned other lovely emotes like
It's CC.
generous.
I'm gonna say it's Cece's fault. It's all Cece's fault. I don't know if
It
it's his
is
fault,
Cece's
but I blame
fault.
it on Cece.
He sent it to me one day, and I was like, "This is so disgusting and awful." And then a week later, I was posting it like every 5 messages.
Yeah, I know. It was so bad. I remember that. I was visibly. No, because I remember because I'm like, I remember I saw it and I was like, Remy, I'm an ace. I did this when I saw it. Like this was my
it literally
physical
is-
reaction. I
It's
was like,
the pipeline.
it's just
pretty
that.
much how all of our ideas come up. Is something stupid comes up in conversation with us, and we're all like, as the ADHD mages we are like.
It's true.
And that's the best part is that this whole
Neuron
group,
activated.
as soon as one of us comes up with something dumb, everyone else jumps
We're all on board.
immediately on it,
Yeah.
and we're just. I mean, fucking Santa Claus. I have
Yeah,
a model
true.
for that now.
Santa Claus is in lore now, a dark mage that Damien constantly battles every year.
Mhm. He is a level 10 mage
Oh my god.
with a familiar named Frosty. It's a snow golem. And Masaru soldiers have been found speared with a broomstick. And coal in their eyes. So, yeah.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
Yeah, that actually is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, what the fuck,
Yeah,
bro?
It's really dark.
Listen, don't mess with Frosty.
If you hear sleigh bells,
Run.
go inside the nearest building and
If you hear
hold
the
your
sleigh
breath.
bells ringing,
And
it's
then
about to
yeah,
be
run
slaying
away.
time.
But Santa's only bad to Masaru, mostly.
Isn't there a whole Ice Nine Kills song based around that? I swear
Probably.
it is. I was listening to it earlier.
Probably.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
That's another thing on set I didn't get to do. I really wanted to have like some tiny story weave with Santa versus Lyle.
You know, maybe if Envy is like there's a season time during Christmas, whatever character you are, you'll interact with Santa.
Santa can fight
Be
Lyle
a Christmas
in hell.
episode.
Yeah, but you could do a non-canon episode where
Yeah,
Lyle
Phyllis
fights-
will
I mean,
resurrect Lyle with her
submit it
Queen of
as a
Hell
December
powers.
story weave if
Mhm.
he's
Yeah, there you go.
going
Phyllis
into December.
resurrects Lyle for Christmas with her Queen of Hell powers just to fight Santa.
I'll just perfect the flesh crime magic, make you
Oh my god.
come alive, and then you can go fight Santa. There you go.
And that's what Masaru really is all about. Just
It really is.
reviving
Friendship
dead clowns
is
to fight
magic.
Santa.
Friendship is magic. Magical
Because
girls,
who else is going to do it but
explosive
us?
food,
Someone has to take care of it,
ADHD.
or it's never going to get done.
True.
I mean, I suppose that's fair.
Who could you think of that you'd rather make a flesh crime than this lovable bunch of idiots?
See, I just make food crimes.
It still surprises me that you're not part of Geb. They would love you.
I don't want to be a part of Geb. I'll be honest. I'm good. They killed my friend Jerry. They can fuck off.
He should have taken my offer. On that last day, I in character offered him a job at Masaru, and he said, no, I'm gonna go say goodbye to some people, but maybe I'll talk to you later.
Jerry the guard is dead?
Yes.
That was
Yeah, he
I
died.
heard he got fired. I heard he got
Yes.
fired. That's the last thing I
Well,
heard.
he
Fired.
did
Out of a
get
cannon into
fired
the
on.
sun.
He died.
Yeah.
Dead.
by a firing squad.
So
What did he do?
I believe
Helped an awakened synth escape.
Yeah.
E1R, which is actually my fault. Again, it all ties into me somehow.
It's all Kalista's fault.
Stop!
I was telling him about the awakening of a synth, and it clicked with him that E1R is awakened, and because of that, he wanted to try to help E1R escape, because apparently Sarah was going to wipe E1R or just destroy them. And he didn't want that to happen. So he helped them just escape the upper city and escape in general, which caused him to get fired, but then arrested later on. We didn't know he got arrested. So the next episode, we're going to the gala, and I'm like, where's my buddy Jerry? I think he would love this. Where is he? I'll find him later. Even last episode, I went to Geb, rang the doorbell, going, all right, where's Jerry? He's usually at the front.
So you know the sad thing. So Jerry was played by Manamanaira, and he was killed right at the beginning of that episode, and then he was the greeter at the gala.
Yep.
So, so he
It
was
all
actually
comes full
there the whole
circle.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pain.
All around me are familiar faces.
Yeah.
I actually love, in the Discord, there's the RP memes channel, and everyone always posts their tier maker lists.
Mm-hmm.
And he had posted one today of what his sister's thoughts were of all the characters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
IRL sister?
His in-character sister.
Based
Oh,
off
okay.
them talking in the afterlife.
Yeah, and he goes on. She goes on about Marceline being the only person still alive trying to actually take care of synths and make sure that they're able to be awoken and live their lives, which is partially accurate, I think. Because
there's more than
Marceline
just
is
Marceline.
Will Smith's character from IRL.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm putting myself into that boat. I did steal what I thought was a synth and then marry it.
yeah,
I'm helping.
You did.
I committed a crime, but it's okay because I had a noble cause.
Yeah.
Smile.
I actually find it hilarious that Marceline, who is the polar opposite of what Masaru usually looks for, is a part of Masaru, because she's a Mechanica 4 going into Mechanica 5 prosthetics and synthetic creator and repairer. So there is no reason that she should be with Masaru, who's nothing but magic based.
They have two Mechanica characters and a Decker.
Now, yeah.
That's
But to be fair,
broaden our horizons.
She couldn't even open her emails originally.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why in character you gave me access to all your emails and just read them for you. Like, Maya, you understand this stuff, you do it. And then I got sent things every now and then. I'm just like, I don't know if I should notice, but I notice now. Oh well.
Yeah, Maya, just tell me if something important happens. I don't want to read this shit.
Hey, the Undercity's exploding. What?
Yeah, can you take care of that? I'm kind of busy.
Okay.
That was such a good scene. I literally just bumped into Ari and Marcy walking around in the Undercity, and I was like, wait, Maya, you're good with computers. Can you go stop the Undercity from burning down?
I'll pay you just a lie. I was like, Okay.
Yeah. The Undercity's been a
Man.
whole deal on its own. We do actually have more clips. We before we get to that though, do we have any questions from the Patreon at all?
Patreon questions.
Because believe it or not, it's already
Sub to the
almost been an
Patreon.
hour and a half.
Oh,
What?
shit.
Really?
Time
it's been-
flies
Oh,
when we're
yeah.
Like
all
I said,
Yeah.
Masara meeting. I called it. It was going to turn into a Masara meeting. We have ADHD.
We could. Okay, sounds good.
Clip time.
I hate this already. Just the title of this.
You love it. A puppy.
Vacation outfit.
A puppy? No, it's Fred, you ass! Bitch! You talked about this!
Well, how about a haircut?
But I've never seen you like this before! I just woke up! How do you think I sleep?
And just to
Like,
make sure
what?
Can I touch you?
our vacation goes smoothly, we've got 5 bad boys. Wherever we end up.
Inyo.
He says that Emily's so cute.
She says that
Emily
I'm
is like
a host.
one of the protected
Right?
beings in Masara.
She is definitely
I'm
some,
low, yes,
great.
look
some
at
serious
us.
glue that holds us all together.
Literally, if anything happens to Emily,
From the spirit world,
the entirety of Masara will kill everyone on planet and then themselves.
Yeah. Oh, well, several of us are
Emily-
incapable of feeding ourselves and rely entirely on her to consume food daily.
Yeah, she
Emily-
has so much.
Is one of those characters too that anytime that you speak to her, you have a grin on your face because she's just such a pleasant
She's
character.
a
to interact with.
serotonin generator.
Yes, exactly.
Even Maya, in like all of her depressed states and like usually not in a good mood, like could never feel bad around Emily because Emily just would not let that slide.
God, she was actually the first. When Lyle's body was taken back up to the upper city, Marcy was sitting there blaming herself because she couldn't pull the trigger on Warren. Good thing she didn't, because the entirety of her union was standing behind her aiming guns. But she's blaming herself, and Emily just is sitting there crying with her, hugging her, just allowing Marceline to actually process the emotions, which was just so massive. The character's so wholesome.
She really is. She really is. It's. I will say it. I miss having her down in the Undercity as often as we once might have. But I mean, I think she's doing her job elsewhere. You know, like
She's ours. Don't look at her.
Do not
allowed to
perceive.
Why
That's
are
why
we the
we're
same?
married in
Oh
character.
yes, this one.
Yeah,
So protected. Oh.
This clip is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what I put. This was like a
Nice.
half hour ago. I have no idea.
ADHD
One
mage.
ear out the other.
My Adderall wore off a couple hours ago.
You still smoke Adderall?
Yes.
Beefcake.
I was gonna think on that for a minute, but please
Thank him.
continue.
Holy shit.
You seem like you've thought about this for a while.
Cornelius, for those who don't know, for a while, both Lyle and Marcy were just calling him Beefcake.
It was all because of the cubed rule of food. It all comes back to the cubed rule of food in Marceline.
Lyle's just standing behind me.
Look at me, I'm so buff.
Honestly, if I had to say one, just off the top of my head, just out of curiosity of how that mindset of a character would be, I'd actually probably say I'd be really interested in being Bay for a day.
Mm.
Bay Day.
Payday.
Fucking encore all the way for me.
Okay,
Encore.
so because you
Yeah,
guys
no,
are
I-
to hear me
yeah.
for some reason, the question
Me
is
and
as is,
Tyrannus,
if you could switch your character to somebody else,
just
who
some of
would
the
it be?
stuff that we've discussed for encore. It's such a fucking fun character, and she does such a good job with it. But I would love to have just a day to go around in that model pretending that I'm encore. It would be so much fucking fun.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
I don't know if my answer is allowed, but I think I'd want to be an extra for a day, just to
That's
see like
allowed.
there's stuff like
counts.
because I know it's allowed, but I usually play my characters on the day. But like I can't think of anyone in specifics because like I take people's characters like all very seriously and like how they're role played. I don't know if I could do that.
Man, didn't realize that
You
was a
know, I
valid
wouldn't be able to
answer.
do him justice.
I would have said
you
the
know.
Puppet Master if I knew I could have said that because
Oh.
everyone's been asking me to play him again.
Yeah, I'd do it like an extra or something, or like you
Well,
know,
the extras.
see what they would give me
I
because
feel
they
like
do so
sometimes
good.
the extras have even more fun than we do. Because they just get to bounce back and forth between different characters that they've just come up with on the fly while they're trying to do extra work. And some of it is so awesome. Just the different personalities that I will see one extra that has 5 different extra characters they'll do, and each of them with their own personalities to boot. It's amazing.
I know my favorite extras were actually last season when Joel and Corona were playing. I think it was 2 Traverse guards, and they were the most like brain dead guards ever, running around with pop guns and trying to figure out how to just exist.
Oh yeah, Joel was
Joel's little. It was Timmy. Yeah, Timmy.
I remember that guard.
Timmy.
Yeah.
NPCs are such a treasure, and we tried really hard through season 3 to try to do everything we could to make people interact with NPCs. Because I always throw up the mention. Foot was an NPC when he first joined Neon Divide, and he's like one of my best friends and closest people that I talk to like every day. And I had no idea who he was, and we just met because coincidentally he was NPCing for the corp that I was in on a couple days. So
that's how me and Deadly got
interact with the
That's how I got
NPCs.
in,
They're all
yeah.
very cool people.
Do you have a character that you would want to switch spots with if you could, if you had the time to swap in?
Yeah, I would swap with BR16. One,
that's a
because
good
I have
idea.
been dying to play a synthetic in an RP for a really long time, but I just keep not having the time or the chance, or like I didn't want to just retire Calliope to play another character.
I mean, the synthetic stuff, like especially last episode, I know there was.
You want to be the
real
child?
Yeah, I'm gonna come back and play my own kid.
Would be the first time this happened.
You know, maybe.
You know, that's what happens in the metaverse all the time.
Yeah, I think BR16 is a really cool character. She always has something going on, and just ends up in like so many irons and so many fires. So I think I definitely want to explore that for a day.
Yeah, I just realized that I don't think we've had any synthetic characters on yet.
Yes, we did. Jonathan.
Did we? Oh yeah, of course, Jonathan. Very synthetic character. Yeah.
Whoops.
Good point. But I kind of want now. I kind of want to. Okay, I'll get to that later. Anyway,
Can I have an oops all
there was
Sims episode?
Yeah, maybe we'll see. We did have one more question from you, I believe.
Yes, there was a second Patreon question. Hopefully this time the stream will actually be able to hear me. And I quote, if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip?
What does that mean?
Yeah, this is very existential.
What's going on, brother? Are you okay?
Are there any? Are
Cease
there any
it all in a
other?
moment.
Are there any other lyrics you want to bring out for this?
Holy shit.
I didn't add yo. I wasn't sure if I should add yo at the end. I remember writing it now.
Yo.
God damn it.
Wait, what?
Okay.
To answer that one in character, Calliope would definitely grab the moment by the throat and lift it off its feet.
As she should.
I feel that just because it's so in character for Marceline, she would miss it by just an inch.
It entirely depends on what that thing is, but I feel like I'm actually in character doing that right now with Conrad. So,
Being that both Lyle and Crunch are psychotic, those two just live in the moment. Or lived.
Too soon.
You, by the way, I never actually got to yell at you about it. When I was crying over your body in the Rose morgue, and
I kept making
lifted
jokes?
my head up. No, I lifted my head up, and you were making this face at me. I was trying so
was it
hard
this?
not to. Yes, I was trying so
I
hard
didn't
to
do it
not
on purpose.
laugh. I was trying so hard to not laugh while I was actually
anyone-
crying IRL.
For anyone, I think it's that one. Yeah.
because what better expression to have as a corpse than that?
So speaking of, I think we have time for one last clip. We had so many clips, and we ended up just talking.
Oh,
It's okay.
But
That
you know
means
what?
it's successful, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Good podcast.
All right.
And this,
I think at a moment like this, Lyle might want us to tell a joke, so... Knock, knock.
Who's that?
Not Lyle.
It's funny because he's dead.
My bad. My bad, homie. The tone did not lighten. I'm sorry.
fucking breathe.
I tried.
You can see me
I
moving.
tried, homie. Man, I tried, homie.
I was honestly speechless for a bit.
I
like,
was
I'm in
I
and out
had
of
to.
character.
Someone had to do
I
it.
was
I knew.
so proud of you. I
In
was
that
so
clip-
fucking proud of you.
In that clip, you see Marceline walk away. That was the one moment that she's ever had so far in Masara where she actually wanted to punch somebody in the face, and she wanted to punch friends so badly.
But
was so
that
upset.
moment, despite it being the most insensitive thing I think any of us have done, and I've committed some serious crimes against humanity, that is exactly what Lyle would have wanted. I'm sure. of it.
Oh, 100%
It's why
it would
it's
have
the
been
only
pissed
reason
if no one
Friend
told
did
a
it.
joke for his death.
If someone had to do it, someone had to knock knock who's there, not Lyle. Because
You know what's funny? Decidius said that right before you said that, he was going to say the same joke.
same brain rot.
Same brain rot.
for
Yep.
sure.
It's the Masaru brain rot.
It's why we're a faction.
Yep.
Not
Well,
just a faction, we're a family.
This is
Yeah.
true.
yeah, it does seem true. More so with Masar than any other. Part. All right, so I think we are unfortunately gonna have to wrap up here pretty soon. Before we get to the wheel of who we're going to raid, what are you guys' plans for the rest of the season?
Frog clown stuff.
Frog clown stuff.
I was
Also,
gonna
me
say-
and you have a plan, but
Yeah, could
it's-
I demonstrate it via one of the clips? 'Cause I know I've posted one about it in there, and I really wanted to get everyone's opinion
Is it?
about it.
Is it the ritual?
No, it's the other one. With the dead following. I wanted to pick people's brain before. That was one thing. I
Show
wanted
it
to
really
do.
quick because it is.
It is really interesting.
It is
I'm
relevant.
really, yeah.
What exactly is
It's
the name of
something
the clip?
going forward. Let me see what it was called. Fudge. I think it was the one right after the ritual.
Is it called Leading the Dead with Siren Songs?
I think so. Sorry.
Because that's if you scroll up just a little bit from the bottom, it was posted at 8:02 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
Right above
Yeah,
the
that
express
that
grandma
would help
delivery
me a
system.
lot if I wasn't in fucked up German time. It's 5 a.m. over here.
Okay, well then
It's called leading the
it's right,
double siren song.
it's right under where
Shmoodle.
Shmoodle says, "Hi, here I'm Dad."
Oh.
That was when Kalista said, "Hi, I'm here."
Mhm.
Okay, here we. Oh, also, this is a great chance to see exactly how poor Bay's eyesight is.
It's bad. I love it.
That is terrible.
So
That's so pretty.
basically, it is.
That's what
Crunch-
I'm exploring.
Crunch wants to learn how to do that.
I loved when you can hear they started doing it too, and they were singing.
It's terrifying.
That's actually.
But
They're puppies.
And so I'm
Love them.
assuming more food crimes.
So the goal that I have, which is the goal I've had the entire season as a joke goal, but I really want to do it, is actually get a whole RP wide food fight to happen.
Oh, well, that I hope that happens. That could be fun.
Epilogue.
It could be.
Epilogue,
It
if
could be
nothing else,
Kalista.
yeah.
If anyone can do it, it's her.
Probably.
And then for Maya,
At this point, it's Operation Bigger Picture with Conrad and the. Once people see the group of people Conrad's been gathering, it's honestly terrifying, and I can't wait to see what comes out of it with the Corp War. You guys are safe from it, though. I made sure of that.
Yes.
all right.
Do my
We
food
rock.
crimes in peace.
So, should we all say goodbye the Masaru way?
Yes.
We definitely should.
Always.
But since we asked about plans for the rest of the season, I wanted to drop a hot little teaser. I do have permission from people to come back and do some hot story weave stuff on Calliope. So,
Teammate Slayers, please. I want to do that.
Spicy.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Before
All
we
right,
get to
come
the
on.
salute, do we want to?
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, do you want to do your wheel first?
Yes, so the wheel. People might know it at this point. It is a thing that we do to determine who we are going to rate with everybody. Today the wheel is it's more like a coin flip, as only 2 streamers are currently streaming from the Neon Divide cast. So if I find my mouse cursor, here it is. I'm going to spin the wheel now. And let us see who it might be.
Who we gonna be?
We are going to be rating Anna, who is playing Phoebe in the Wastelands. A synthetic that has been...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
A synthetic that has been parked there by Astro. She is the multiple times Astral Employee of the Month and their source for funny little resources. But before we rate, there is me dropping stuff from my desk. Yes, that too, but there is going to be the original one and only Masaru salute performed by a part of the Masaru crew, I have to say.
Yeah.
Just for you, as well as a few more things that I have to say. First of all, you guys go ahead with the Masaru salute and then I'll just do the outro.
Once again, I knocked something.
All right. I'm not going to count us down because this is scuff, so just go for it. Just do your best. Do me proud.
Fucking
You always got to add that flair to it. You got to add that. When we're teaching Jillian, it's always important to
little pizzazz.
So remember,
I
kids.
can't wait to do on a mission from behind.
With the Masaru salute out of the way, there's a few more things that I have to say. First of all, everybody, feel free to join the official Neon Divide Discord if you haven't yet already. Just scroll down a tiny little bit. The link is in the info box under the stream. Additionally, as most of you are aware, Neon Divide is a project that is completely financed by the fan base. That means through merch sales as well as through our Patreon. If you haven't yet, feel free to check out our Patreon and support us, because everything we do here is completely made possible by you guys. Additionally, visit store.neondivide.com. I should probably really set up a graphic for that. And check out our merch. With that all said, everybody, thank you for watching Neon Divide's Slummer TV.
Goodbye!
Episode number 7. I hope you had some fun and stick around for the raids. And I should probably start that as well. Yes, I am a professional. I do this for the 7th time.
How many people are watching the stream right now? 63. I can get a new kill count. Let's go from behind.
From behind.
Oh boy. So yeah, give Anna a lot of love. And we are going to see you guys very soon for the next episode of Neon Divide's Slummer TV. Stay tuned and watch out for the pings on the Discord to get more information on the next episode.
I love how that blade turned out.
See.